Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today we need to speak honestly and clearly about something that is both technically fascinating and strategically very real in the Middle East today. SPYDER-30 versus SPYDER-MR, Egypt versus Israel. What does each side actually have in terms of layered air and missile defense? What is signal? What is reality? What is capability? And what is reputation? And maybe more importantly, how are these two families of interceptors different in philosophy, not only in brochure performance? What is France, Italy and MBDA thinking with Aster? What is Israel, India and EAI and DRDO thinking with Barak? This is what we will unpack, and every paragraph here will be short so you can follow each idea cleanly. First we need to set the stage. The Middle East in 2025 is not simply about tanks or fighter jets anymore. Air and missile defense has become one of the most important currency of power, and Egypt and Israel have both invested in this domain. Israel was an early mover, Egypt later, but the pace is fast and the gear is modern, and these systems are not Cold War technology. These are families of fully digital active radar homing interceptors designed to fight in extremely heavy electronic attack environments and extremely complex ballistic and cruise threats. Now when you say SPYDER-30 you are talking about a European interceptor. When you say Barak-8 you are talking about an Israeli-Indian interceptor. They were born from different threat models. SPYDER-30 originally was to kill fast sea-skimming supersonic cruise missiles in the heavy ECM-saturated Mediterranean and NATO fleet defense. Barak-8 originally was to give the Israeli Navy and Indian Navy the ability to kill maneuvering sea skimmers and later short-range ballistic threats and littoral clutter. These are different truths. France and Italy built Aster to be extremely agile by using PIF-PAF side thrusters in the terminal endgame. Israel and India built Barak-8 to be extremely flexible and very network-friendly with a very modular architecture across naval and land versions. And that means the philosophies diverge. Egypt operates SPYDER-30 in the form of SAMP-T. This is the latest. This is not the old SAMP-T baseline. The ING has a new Kronos Grand Mobile High-Power Radar, and it uses the new SPYDER-30 Block 1NT. This is the upgrade that gives anti-ballistic capability against 600 km class ballistic missiles. So Egypt is not just buying cruise missile defense, they are buying theater-level ballistic missile defense. And this is significant, because not many countries outside NATO and Japan, South Korea and Israel have that level of modern ABM. Israel operates Barak-8 in multiple layers and multiple blocks. Israel has Barak-8 baseline. Israel also has Barak-8-R. The R pushes to roughly 150 km class in range and can do endo-atmospheric ballistic missile intercepts. Israel also integrates Barak-8 with L/M2084 and MF-STAR radars. And of course Israel has its other layers like Iron Dome Tamir and David's Sling Stunner and the Arrow family. But here in this video we are focusing only on Barak-8 because that is the counterpart that Egypt watchers compare to SPYDER-30. So this is apples to apples, at least closer. SPYDER-30 at the top end has a published interception against 600 km class ballistic missiles. Barak-8-R is believed to have at least 150 km nominal aerodynamic range and ABM for short-range ballistic threats. The Israelis do not publish the exact ceiling or engagement envelope publicly because they never disclose the exact performance numbers of their ABM interceptors, but Indian Navy trials and DRDO statements show it is indeed a theater defense solution. Now we need to understand that range numbers are always deceptive. SPYDER-30 says 120 plus km, Barak-8-R says 150 km class. But engagement envelope is not only range, it is also altitude, it is also closure rate, it is also sensor geometry, it is also networking. And here MBDA's SAMP-T is extremely good. Its radar is extremely powerful and has very long fire control range. Barak-8-R also is extremely networked. It can accept mid-course updates and can use cooperative engagement. So both are modern and data link. On agility side, Aster is famous for PIF-PAF. The thrust vector lateral thrusters near the midbody give unbelievable terminal lateral acceleration. So if a hypersonic maneuvering target tries to pull a last-second turn, Aster can pull insane Gs. Barak-8 uses dual-pulse motor and has excellent agility as well. But the PIF-PAF of Aster is unique, and the Europeans always highlight that. On radar seeker side both are active seekers. Aster 30 uses active RF, Barricade uses active RF. Both have home on jam capability. Both are built to handle heavy jamming. Both have ECCM, so seeker-wise both are top modern. Where Aster has always been very strong historically is intercepting supersonic sea skimmers that pop up in terminal. Where Barricade has always been strong is flexible integration on naval and land platforms at very high density and affordable life cycle cost. Now we look at the strategic layer. Egypt's acquisition of SAMP/TN is huge, because it signals Egypt wants independent European ABM capability. Egypt was not satisfied with only Russian systems or older US systems. Egypt is telling the region that Egypt wants to be a node of ballistic missile defense. If you have Aster 30 Block 1 NT and Kronos GMHP, you are at a very serious tier. Israel on the other hand has the most combat-validated layered missile defense network on Earth. Israel has shot down ballistic missiles. Israel has shot down cruise missiles. Israel has shot down heavy rockets. Israel has shot down Iranian SRBM in 2024. Israel has shot down threats from Yemen. Israel has a full kill chain that is proven. So while Aster 30 is an elite interceptor, the combat validation of the Israeli ecosystem is unmatched. We also need to ask, what is the logistic ecosystem for each country? Egypt will rely on MBDA Europe and Leonardo for support. Israel produces Barricade with India and local integration. Israeli industry like EAI or Rafael to build radars and interceptors largely inside the country. Egypt buys, Israel produces. That affects sustainment. Cost is hard to discuss because no one publishes exact prices, but it is likely that Aster 30 Block 1 NT rounds are expensive because MBDA is a very premium supplier. Barricade may be cheaper per missile because Israel mass produces and India mass produces. Now we look at future growth. MBDA is working on Aster 30 Block 2 BMD. That will target 1,500 km class medium-range ballistic missiles. That is a real step. Barricade future is also planned, but Israeli focus is shifting to laser-based systems and hypersonic defense, so the trajectories are slightly different. Europe is building big ABM. Israel is building full spectrum including directed energy and new Aero 4. Now we need to ask a fair question. In a hypothetical direct comparison, which is better? The answer is context. If you want the maximum ballistic missile defense envelope today, Aster 30 Block 1 NT is extremely powerful. If you want a layered system that is combat-proven, Barricade is extremely strong. If you want crazy terminal agility, Aster has it. If you want network-centric saturation fight experience, Israel has it. For Egypt, acquiring Aster 30N is not a symbolic acquisition. It is a huge strategic modernization, because if Egypt can integrate SAMP/TN with local command networks and with airborne early warning, then Egypt suddenly is a serious ABM nation, and that changes the balance in North Africa and Eastern Mediterranean. For Israel, the presence of Barricade is now almost normal. It is integrated with C2 that is continuously upgraded. Israel is not just defending static bases. Israel is defending the entire state in high-tempo real combat. So the performance is tested not only in tests but in wartime. We should also talk about export. Aster 30 has customers. France, Italy, UK uses Sea Viper Aster 30 on Type 45. Saudi Arabia bought Aster 30 naval. Singapore uses Aster. So Europe and Asia use Aster. Barricade has India as a huge user. Azerbaijan uses Barricade. Israel uses Barricade. And India is integrating Barricade into many ships. So both families have large export footprints. One more thing, the radars. You cannot judge interceptors without radars. SAMP/TN with Kronos GMHP is extremely modern. But Israel's L/M2084 has insane combat validation. The MF Star naval radar is extremely capable, so radars are also part of the comparison. MBDA solution is extremely technologically sophisticated, but EAI solution is extremely proven in war. Let us talk about integration to fighter aircraft data links. Barricade can receive queuing from aircraft if integrated. Aster 30 also can. Both use data links that can receive target updates mid-course. Both have network-centric architectures. Now we ask, will Egypt eventually buy more units? Most likely yes, because one SAMP TN is good, but multiple units create a shield, and if Egypt buys a second or third system, then Egypt becomes a serious node of ABM. Will Israel increase SPYDER-SR? Most likely yes, because Israel wants to free some load from Arrow and David Sling and put more weight on SPYDER-SR for medium threats. And now we reach a key observation. The Middle East is entering an era where air and missile defense is not optional, it is existential. And both Egypt and Israel understand this, and both chose very modern interceptors, but the philosophies are different. Egypt chose European top-tier, Israel built national indigenous plus co-developed with India. Both systems are among the most advanced on Earth, both are extremely capable. Both are in the tier just below US Thador. Arrow 3, Aster 30 Block 2 will jump higher, Arrow 4 will jump higher, so both families will continue to grow. In conclusion, Aster 30 in Egypt is a huge strategic message. Barricade in Israel is a proven operational backbone. Europe and Israel both show that modern ABM is no longer rare, and the comparison is not to declare a winner but to show the sophistication of both families and the seriousness of both countries in building missile defense power.